Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's go. Oh, hold on, need to move a window. Okay. You know, there's one thing I'm kind of glad about as well, after having played so much Trails in this, Trails games. I'm pretty happy that there's no audio loss on when you alt tab, and the game still plays at regular speed and everything. So I'm kind of happy for that, because I'm alt tabbing a little bit here and there to like check on some other stuff, like on some other monitors. So I'm really thankful for that. But yeah. Also, there will probably be several points where I will be going on water breaks because of how much reading there is to do. So do be ready for that. Also, this doesn't help that I got a bowl of chips to make the water problem a little bit worse. Man, at this point I need those like huge jugs of like those water bottles, like the ones with like the little tape handles on them. At this point, I feel like I need those like right next to me if I'm ever going to get through one night of reading. But I'll try my best to ration out this tea so I don't have to go on too many frequent water breaks, but we'll see. So, Episode 2, Adventure the Unbreakable Speckled Band. Oh, whoops, wait. Actually, wait, I mean, it's the same thing, but I think I should just continue it from the save. Yeah. Get a water cooler in my room? I mean, I might as well at this point.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Aww. The 9th of January. On board the steamship Buria. Wait, it was like November something last time, right? So we got a bit of a time skip. Oh, anime?
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle.
What the heck?
A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
Huh?
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture.
What the heck?
Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
Da! No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. An in-cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you? And where have you come from?
I'm
Oh?
a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? Also, wait, let me go bump up the line just like one slight touch. There we go. Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Oh. Wait, I can't move. Oh, whoops. I keep forgetting, if you touch around this area, it actually brings it up. Oh, what the? Why am I in handcuffs? So you wake up now, Oh, it's this guy. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you cannot wake up, or... You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. Wait 1 second. Okay. Ah, we found you. And now you pay. Criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... that's her. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Mrs. Sato. Wait. What did you say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Oh. Oh, no, come on. No, we just met him. Huh, you pretend you do not know. You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? On the katana? Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs, surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! No. No! Welcome to the shitty case. That's why people complain. They just off Cosmo right away. God damn it, dude. It's always the cool people with the headbands. Cosmo. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Oh, don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? Oh. It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey! Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding in my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Oh, stop worrying. I'll tell you what. Why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? Oh. What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We're supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make trouble for yourself. Murder. No, I'm not a murderer! Ah, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there's something I would like to ask of you, too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. Do strong Russian accent? Like, I can only do so much, man. This nightmare's getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Cosmo's death. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream? And these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Cosmo's killer. When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. Vent. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, The culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me! The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there was no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Can anyone tell me actually what happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but he would always wake up before dawn to do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard for me to believe for me too, trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing, like anything. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yeah, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself. What kind of criminal would kill his close friend without bothering leaving the cabin? Just dumb enough to hide in the closet? I mean, he would be dumb enough to do it, but I mean... No, just kidding. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then then what? Nothing. Forget it. Huh? What's this game talking about? Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret for you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here? What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply you'd even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed. Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really I do, but it's the truth! If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be put in this... perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. But for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe in me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Ugh, I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You are the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. Sorry. But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around? My hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, and how, and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Yeah! Oh! What the? Yeah, you don't fuck with Susato-san. That was a Susato takedown. That's Susato, what? What much art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it. Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. Whoa, give me a chance to look for it before you flip me again. How am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. She is expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now. That proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime. Paper seal. Wait, let me examine it. You can see the remnants of the glue we used to stick over this wardrobe doors. Although it wasn't proper glue, of course. We didn't have any of that with us. So I pulverized some rice into a paste to use instead. But to a stowaway like me, every single grain of rice represents precious rations. That's why I spread it as thinly as I possibly could. I couldn't bear to waste any. This is the paper seal I wrote for the wardrobe. I remember really working hard to make it. I'll never forget how Cosmo reacted. Do you expect the Russian crew to be able to read that? He said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea, even if they can read it, so why we use it anyway. And it worked. I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opened the doors.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Cosmo always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah, yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I kill Cosmo. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Cosmo-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Nah, stay down. Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. Oh, come on! What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick. What? What? I think common sense is put out the window when they believe magic is at work here. Like, I don't think common sense is actually exists in this universe when fucking magic exists. Or when they think magic exists. Oh boy. What does she think I am, a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please do not misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you, to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. You would have magicked your way off the ship? Well, anyway. I should make a start on investigating here. Examine everything I can. Cosmo, I swear, I will avenge your death. That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. That's kidding. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Even the katana couldn't save him. It was unsheathed, so he couldn't have drawn it out. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Ah, yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? I'm sure you're careful to look all around using B and M, aren't you? Now let's investigate all the corners of this cabin. Yes, let's do that. Does that mean Kazuma is still alive if his soul is in his katana? Kopio? Yes, he's still right here with us in spirit. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Oh, they gave you a little check mark. That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? No, I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did— What?! How do you not like chicken? Bullshit! Nah, okay, no, I found the motivation for the murder. No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Did you see Karage? I don't think that's Karage down there. He grew up in pre-beef Japan and he doesn't like chicken. I guess he was just as like a vegetable and seafood man, like to the very end. I guess, I don't know. Like they mentioned in the earlier trial that, or what was it? Like they made special. Oh, pork only. But yeah, they made special note of, like, what was it, at that high-class restaurant about the beef steak being like this huge Western kind of deal. So, you know, like, stuff like beef and, I guess, chicken and stuff, like, wasn't exactly common in Japanese diet, at least, like, within here. Oh no, does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? Oh my god. Have I had Wagyu before? I wish. Japan didn't really eat much beef until they wanted to copy the Westerners. I can see that. It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Oh, you can click and drag like, There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and the cutlery are all over the floor for some reason. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama. Bruh, if I can't remember, come on! At least have a little more faith in me as his best friend, come on! Why would he want to go to the great lengths to smuggle me just for me to kill him? Come on! Hey Bryce, how you doing? Wagyu hits different. Dude, I want to try Wagyu sometime, dude. Like, I've seen all like the Japanese food vlog videos and stuff, and all that. And I'm just like, oh my god, looks so good. Expensive AF with some of the places I've seen. Although that's like the super fancy places. But like some of like the all-you-can-eat places that offer it, oh my god, it still looks super good, man. Just out under assumptions, yeah. I mean, like she just really cares about Kazuma and is kind of blinded by the fact of, or by his death, to not see clearly about our relationship, and it's like, no, that wouldn't make sense. They're best friends, and they're super close. There's no way. It's like, oh, come on, Susato-san. You're just waiting for the FGO and Grand Blue events to start? Oh yeah, the Grand Blue summer event's starting in a couple hours as well, right? They just always are you did it. Well, I mean that's Ace Attorney for you as the entire series, guilty before innocent. Although like we are in a very precarious situation, it's like you're the only one in the room with the dead body, and we're too stupid to look for any like other methods of like escape and all that stuff. So it must be you, despite the fact that you locked yourself in a door with the paper covered on the outside. I was like, yeah, 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 All I can say is, God damn it, Herlock Sholmes. God fucking damn it. It's like, for a fancy schmancy British detective, it's like, ah yes, this must be the killer. The boy asleep in the wardrobe with the paper glued like from the outside. Ah yes. I'm like, Sholmes, god damn it, boy. You wanna bully this dumb girl by playing tic-tac-toe on her forehead? Wait a second. No, no, no. Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy was always a reflection of his heart. Yet you, can you really look at those characters without feeling shame knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away on this ship, yeah? Are you gonna bring that up, are you? I can't win. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me? What? I was wondering how it's going, the investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But it's not true, I see. God damn! Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Yeah, of course not. Now back to the corner of the room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there. You seem a little flustered. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed. Huh. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy. It just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would have been no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from the outside of the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria. It's essentially a list of requirements from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object, or a damn! Oh my god, we're not even human anymore! I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf had been ransacked, and everything mown down at once. How do you live 2 weeks inside a closet? Well, I mean, like, we get out, we got every once in a while to stretch, eat. Although, I'm not sure about the restroom thing. Like, he has to do some, like, Metal Gear shit or something to get into the restroom without anyone noticing. Or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, it's just like, oh, does that mean he hasn't even bathed? Cause surely on a cruise ship like this, oh wait, no, but this is like way back one though, right? Or not that, no, not that way back, but back enough. So wait, actually, how were cruise ships designed? Like, actually, I'm not sure about like the history of like cruise ship stuff. 2 weeks is nothing. Gamers will know. Wait a second. I wonder if perhaps it was Cosmo-sama doing his morning sword training. Do you think? I seriously doubt that. Then perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. The crime scene, the crime scene preservation. Oh, come on! Oh, come on, what did we just go over? What did you tell me to just do to not fuck with the crime scene? You just put the books back! These books are provided for the entertainment of whoever's occupying the cabin, I suppose. And they must be well looked after. You mustn't damage any of the ship's property. What was the mean who knocked them over? Well, anyway, I feel much better now that they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are in a mess. Okay. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have been broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little, Netsuke fastener, yeah. Bigger mess in this room than the bookcase. From a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this, around with him, would he? And the mark beside it. What is that, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It has the color of brick. It has the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. God damn it, this. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes, I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewman wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a societal takedown. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have said whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though his entry is incomplete. Which means... what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! That's out of the question. What? I need to investigate it! Come on! Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. Oh, come on! It's like... But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Oh, whoops. I was trying to check, like, on the lower half of the thing, but I guess it's the same thing. This lady? Yeah. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments. Was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then, what language is it then? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? I've investigated this thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. This is... yes. It's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes. In the interest of cultural research, obviously. Oh my god. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. Aww. No, I'm sure it's because everyone is busy, that's all. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. Vent. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator. If that's what it is. Looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air to the room, surely it would be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough or something like that. I suppose maybe that's it. Where'd he come from? Where the fuck did he come from, dude? As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he? You've noticed the man too, have you? Was it because of the bell? I don't know. It's because we finished investigating everything and we're finally moving forward. I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Darn those tall British people. I don't know, dude. Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Cosmo's desk or is he playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we must simply talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case. If you press space on people while they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright then, I'll get the suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. Okay. Someone has their priorities, somewhere. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Am I still in the tutorial section? Basically. Cause like the first case is basically just how the trial works, and case 2 is always where they introduce you to the investigative portion, and once you get finished with the investigative portion, then they kind of give you free reign essentially to go from the investigation to trial, and they repeat the phases. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings! I hope I haven't catch- what exactly were you doing on Cosmo's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh, yes. Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. What? Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Well, I mean, you got that part right. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How did you know he was from Afghanistan? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction. Hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? Well, of course. A great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia being, as you are, a merciless revolutionary. Oh my god. He's got my number. Whoever heard this story before? Huh? You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake. Now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. Huh? And when the Barabond occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you're talking about me, are you? The Crystal Tower from FF3. Wait a second. Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name. I don't even see one person who fits the bill! So it's true. Oh no. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you're planning a revolution? Oh my god! Susanna, oh my god, girl! Please! There's also Crystal Tower in FF14 based on the FF3 one? Probably. FF14, I imagine, has a lot of references to a lot of the previous FF games and everything. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way I... Hey, yeah! Now explain yourself, tell me everything. This is ridiculous. How could you do it? Oh, for pity's sake, open your eyes! I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously! Oh, forgive me. And as for you! What kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head! Ah, but was I not right? No! Whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in the most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yeah, maybe. Huh, there you have it, you see. What do you make of that, hmm? Well, to be honest, you're full of shit! This ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of the murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction, it's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. Fake it until you make it. I see. Can we lock this kind of stuff with FGO Sherlock? Huh? I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I'm none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So, it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes. The very same. The inimitable, actual Herlock Sholmes. Do you know this, Master Sada-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san, of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? Could you just get thrown off the ship already? It would be less painful than this. It's Ace Attorney, deal with it. We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really, why do I feel uneasy about this? I bet we can swim back. You bet we can swim back to Japan if we tried. Mr. Sholmes, what do you make of this? Damn it! Shush! Be quiet. When I'm ruminating in the course of my deductions, nothing must disturb my mind. Oh, sorry. Ah, an Indian curry, perhaps. What's he ruminating about? Lunch menu? Bad. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what's your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, was it? Oh my god. No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rant's magazine. Rant's? Full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England, especially. Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you start to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? Huh. Well then. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy as of late. Why, at this very moment, I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really, I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. This guy's less of a detective, more of a charlatan. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? An astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data. Right. Did any Asian countries even use crowns? I'm not familiar in that subject. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated a few short moments ago. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes. god. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right! It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Shaw. He really loves saying his name. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes! Luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. Thanks! And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? 2 facts you say? Mr. Sholmes, tell us please, what 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Guessing how much he says his name, you're guessing he's a fake? Nah, I guess he just really loves, like, just playing detective while being one. To be fair, anyone who could have opened the closet would come to the same conclusion. Yeah. Anyone smarter would have realized, wait, how could the person who murdered it go inside and apply the stupid sign on the outside? It'd be like putting yourself into a bag and tying it from the outside. It's like, you can't do that from the inside. Come on. Ah, yes. But first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. Oh my god, this guy's just flexing his vocabulary. Is that from Harry Stickmin? I don't know what you're talking about. The 2 facts I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Schultz, what made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. I can't read Russian. That is the Russian word for a wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head for this young man, Russian. Wait, just read his last fucking name, dude, please. I can't. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Garderov be the I considered Garderov may be the name of the killer. A certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong to not look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so. I found you. The renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? You can tell that I love this character. Yeah, I love how stupid he is. It's basically like Larry Butts if he actually made it as a fraud detective. I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim, In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. Susanoo, come on! And I had no idea Detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message, that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. Wait. But I mean, isn't he left-handed, given the diary? You know? You know? This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Don't question things. Look, I need to prove my innocence, and this is extremely important evidence right here. Yes, Cosmo had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Oh, you're right, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, thank you. Photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said, I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that. Ah, yes, the train of reason that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining me would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Something, certainly. If it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me then. Or I mean... Ah! The now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and the assassin of 18 part. Ah, yes. The more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads... Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night a young Russian was murdered. Since when was Cosmo Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded that he was Russian because of what Cosmo saw him run on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning that to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. I feel I'm gonna be moved to tears out of his sheer stupidity. Please. No, how can it be me? I don't look anything like this man, just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. A simple face surgery will be nothing. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. What the fuck? Excuse me? Dude, I'm gonna lose my voice before I even get through, like, half of this investigative portion. Oh, I'm gonna run out of water from how much I'm just screaming from his stupidity. Ugh, please. And might I add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower. Ah, yes. The journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters? I wonder. And what about the part where he said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. You don't want to know how the other cases would go then? I need a water dispenser? Pretty much. I feel like I need like a whole case of like water bottles or something to get me through one case. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thanks. Russia and Afghanistan do have a history, actually? Huh. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you might need someone to interpret. Can't find anything out of place. Huh. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? Wait a second. I don't know. Can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you noticed this article. Ah. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. The renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? I don't know, man. Also, don't mind me, I got a bowl of chips because, again, I don't want to repeat it last night where I was getting really hungry by the end of case 1 because we went on for like 6+ hours to go through case 1 in one sitting. It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room. wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the Vaiwa tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay. My personal student number is engraved on the back here. If you lose your pin, they won't accept you as a Yume student at the university. You may not come in, they say. Kill me. Of course you can get a new pin made if you just tell them your number. I've actually lost mine twice already, but I still don't know my student number by heart. I always say to myself, I mustn't forget to write it down somewhere, but then I forget to not forget that. Ah, the symbol of Yume University. Every student wears this pin with pride. It's funny, but most almost seem to be round or rectangular. I like this spike design, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Oh my god, so that's where they got it from. That's how it started, did it? First the badge, now the hair. Although it does cause problems, lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badge. God damn, how sharp is that? Perhaps he has the idea of one of the founders, a sharp pin for a sharp mind or something. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. This is a thing for later games. Well, and I'm just like, just trying to like make assumptions that's where Phoenix Wright somehow got his signature spiky hair, because Ryunosuke saw like, oh man, this spiked pin design looks super cool, and then probably in later years like he ended up spiking his hair up, and it just became like family tradition at that point. That's my headcanon. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe, for a moment, the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Bullshit. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a societal takedown is. Sada-san, aren't you gonna throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair! So you can tell the diary was in Japanese, but it can tell that we're Japanese? I don't fucking know, man! Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to the details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy. A smattering. I don't want to read this. I don't want to read this line, man. I don't want to read this. Please kill me. Sayonara, bonsai. Mikado, Nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. Oh boy, you'll love to try to understand kanji. So, what was all that showing off before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it for you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obligated, I'm much obliged, my dear madam. So basically the same understanding of Japanese as a weeb watching anime? Yeah. The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Bleh. Fucking FGI, blame it. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Ah yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered into the court record. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Ah, do you have somewhere to go? As it so happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I'm still too long, seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to. Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation and fancy vocabulary. So yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No. That will be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter, no? There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. We crave white powders. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You can't see my face right now, but I am rapidly blinking in just what? Hold on, I need another chip, dude. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know? Not really. So what? Were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then, and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now we're just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is just as twisted as his name. Naruhodo-san, what are you standing there for? Huh? You must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can... Hiya! After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? And you're willing to keep believing that I'm the one who murdered him and still the prime suspect despite us... I really don't get what's going on in your mind, girl. You hate this lady? Well, get used to her. She's gonna be with us for the entire game. She's our assistant, I would imagine, or she's our assistant, so I would imagine she'd be with us for the whole game. Just eat us off the boat. You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we saw some investigation to finish off here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Cosmo to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. You thought the Y word was banned? Oh yeah. Well, Origami has mod power, so he doesn't get bopped by Hitsuderp. Mod privilege. Wait, is that... Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh, no, it's just that crewman's standing by the door. I can't help but feel like I've seen him somewhere before. You didn't know that? That word is banned? You think you don't use it then? Yeah, I have it filtered out, because I just don't like the sound of it, mostly. Oh, yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Oops. Oh, it's fine. I even said, look, I'm just reading the chat, like, while just trying to go back and forth here, okay? I make mistakes sometimes. And besides, like, I can break my own rules. I'm the streamer. Excuse me, sir. Yes. What can I do, or what can I do for you? Who's this? Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate everything about this. This man has no limits. Hold on. We've only designed a few character sheets. Okay, he'll be in every case. Bet he likes cosplay. I mean, he's like like a chief, or no, what was it? The chief inspector or investigator or whatever in the like investigation bureau or whatever in Japan. So I mean, going undercover is kind of his thing. He got hired as a Russian sailor. I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. He's just wiping his blood on that sleeve, okay. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board the ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Does that mean he's an imposter? Nah. So, what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm sorry. Huh? This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? Imposter Hosonaga. My orders were to act as Asagi-san's bodyguard. Huh. It was Minister of Justice, Jigoku, Jigoku, who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asagi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How? How could that even have been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Great job on that. Yeah. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-san was assassinated. Obviously, we couldn't give Asagi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board. From morning until night. Every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside of his own cabin. Not here, on the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asagi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all I can do to help now, just say the word. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death for ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, sorry. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door. That stormy looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. First class but no service from the bell? I don't know. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now, they think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I can to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how... There may be a way. What, really? Think of how he tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you're in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes, I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Show the captain our badge. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins the next door cabin. That's right. So if we can continue, if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes. As long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area, then I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asuke-san alive. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just like move and we can leave this cabin at last. Move? Alright, let's see what we can find out. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I forget I can't do that. Inspector, can I show you this? What the? Is that a fabled Imperial Yuma University pin badge? I'm not sure if it's really fabled exactly, but... So, you're a genuine student then? Sorry? Nothing like me with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you're trying to say? Trying to flex. Can I have my badge back, please? You don't feel like me as much for the guy with TB, to put his life on the line. Ooh, we get like descriptions of like the places we're going to. Ah. Whew, I'm finally free of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Cosmo-san was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Yeah. Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch. And it looks enormous, even if he's just sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose. Like, people in handcuffs. Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Cosmo's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. How'd you use the restroom? Please, don't give me that pitying look. Excuse me, but can I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You? Damn! You little third-class ladies' maid. We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad taste, Sato-san. I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman. I hate it so much. Now you're hungry? Oh my god. I hate everything about this. I wish I named this guy What's for Dinner. Or imagine in like the hospital's like, what should we name our son? I don't know. By the way, what would you want for dinner on the way or when we come home? It's like, oh, some beef stroganoff. Okay. Oh my god. I am senior crewman. Beef stroganoff. Whew. The best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first class cabin area. Here we are in finest of a Burya steamship, for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials. Kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. So we're saying that his parents chose his last name too? I mean, that's their last name. So... But somehow I let stupid Stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean. But Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asugi's currently occupied? I'm guessing that's Da? Susanna-san, did you understand that? It sounded like Da. I think it's probably Russian for yes, or no? Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there's someone in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asugi's? His name is, Mr. Wait, Grimsby Royal? His name is Mr. Grimsby Royal. He is very important Western gentleman. Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do, with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylet is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East islands. God damn! Come on! That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylet came aboard? That is not your business. But come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, I've been in Cosmo's cabin the entire time. I never once heard anything from the next door cabin. Or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first class cabins, he must be rather important, isn't that right? That is not your business. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Da, all the time. So criminals like you cannot come in, or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. Did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? How do you pronounce that? Susato-san? Do you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said no. Sorry! Yep. Okay. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. Lobster whistles on top of... I've never heard that one before. Yes, I understand. . Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. That's the way to the second class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, I started with my talk of running away. Apparently that's a real saying in Russian? Huh. And there's no way I could run away while Cosmo's death remains a mystery anyway. That book on the top of the table there is really huge. There's a pen with it too. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there's nothing to report. You know there's a shrimp that can shoot bullets? Wait a second. This looks like a plan of the SS Buria. It shows each deck. Look. The Buria is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is! I swear to God, they're gonna go with conjuring tricks or magic, I swear to God! Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan? Yes, they're not metal, but they're enormous lumps of earth. Many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created... Oh my God. Disha School of Geology. Oh my God. Like, I know it's back then when like people started traveling around the world and everything, and you know, it's like the start of a new era and all that stuff. But oh my God, it just hurts to read now. I mean, they literally don't know any better. That's what they were taught and raised to believe. But I'm like, oh my God. Well, I suppose so. The pistol shrimp can fire bubbles with enough force to kill other sea life. Wait a second. A trap for catching mice. Man, that's a big lump of cheese. Huh. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Chalk? Let me see. Yes, I think that's what is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Chalk? Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. Oh my God. Hope he isn't lactose intolerant though. You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap on your fingers. Really, but... I suppose you're right. But if he was fast enough... You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple weeks is Cosmo's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Who are you? I'll find you a little snack for you later. Nah, give me a full-ass meal, please. Watch him get hooked on cheese. People still believe the earth is flat. In the game or IRL? Okay, wait, let me do a check here for my water. I still got a good portion left. Also, when we make our way into the next cabin room, I'm gonna go on a little restroom break with all the water I've been drinking. Well, it's a real problem. Wait a second. I mean, yeah. Lactose intolerance is common in Japan. Yeah. I know a lot of my friends who are lactose intolerant as well. One of them actually takes like some kind of a pill to some like lactose pills so that he can actually like eat dairy like if need be on some occasions. Although I'm pretty sure he doesn't do it frequently, but during like times when like we're out with the boys or something eating pizza or something of the sort, I think I remember seeing him taking a pill or mentioning that he took a pill for that. I'm like, huh. He eats chicken since his friends dislikes it. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as a wardrobe I've been calling home. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way. 500 and... How many cabins are there? What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh, this I have to... What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Look at these handcuffs. Oh my god. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop, the ship included. You have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. Oh. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. Oh. Where the fuck did he come from? I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes. I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on for me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Also, why is my game lagging, dude? Dude, this game is running at 30 FPS, I think. And it's running below that. Oh my god. Okay, I think it might be my OBS. Hold on. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't. Okay, yeah, that's a little better now. Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Clay, I need a 3090. Oh. So, who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We we heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there is nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, we just screamed. Get out, all of you, now. Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylett, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only, the actual Sherlock Holmes. You've heard of me, no doubt? No. I'm a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So, I assure you, you may trust me completely. This man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. Well, there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So I might be so bold to ask you to open that small traveling case. What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. But don't look at me. Oh my. Did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave, now. Otherwise I'll call the steward. So, this is Cosmo's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylett. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find clues, some clues before that burly sailor returns. You know, kind of got a tiny bit spoiled on us from the, I believe the E3 trailer. Thanks E3. His name doesn't even sound Russian. Close enough. Okay, so, I'm gonna be right back real quick. I need to use the restroom and also get a partial refill on my drink. So, one moment. I'll just, I'll make this a little bit bigger as well for the hell of it. Okay, so, I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this magnificent beard of this man. But yeah. Hey Askel. Okay. Got my refill, restroom break and everything. Also a nice little stretch break, although it wasn't really too long of one, but still one nonetheless. Mr. Roylet, we'd like to talk to you about something. No! Oh! I did not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. This is going terribly. We're not getting anywhere here. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Yeah, okay. Sholmes? You have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe, whilst waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh. And it would seem the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually you're spot on for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylet, is clearly trying to hide something. Do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. That's pretty much like anyone. No, it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Okay, thank you for the clarification. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. That was torture. Well then, what you are about to see may very well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? What? What am I reading? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you or anyone. That's right. And Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, Just as I thought. Yes, I've quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Worthing, I reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Where have I heard this line before? Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. The glorious beard? Are you not? Huh. And number two, the other conclusion I've drawn. You are, at this very moment, no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Cutting the beard? Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. You left to make a grilled cheese and come back to this. Just go back to make another grilled cheese. Don't worry. It's just Sholmes just doing his thing. Hey Derby, how you doing? Does it not? Oh, Narahara-san. I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What ineffable twat? Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. A modest deduction? Sherlock or Sholmes or something? Yeah! Oh my god, dude. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. Sholmes is precious and you love him. I love him and hate him. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Rowlet's face. It looks like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. Oh my god, dude. Like, the freaking animations, dude. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So I do cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Ooh. The game is afoot. Ooh. So the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Rowlet, obviously what catches the eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away that copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged is, why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Rowlet? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Hey Cena, how you doing? Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper. In particular, this fascinating front page article. With which it would appear you have also read also, Mr. Rowlet. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals their true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. I'm sorry, just having fun reading the word copious. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there! Oh, yes, Mr. Roylett. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes astray, you see. And I assure you the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady perhaps, one slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'eil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. Well, there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, the renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. So wait, coup d'eil? I hope I pronounced that right. A glance that takes a comprehensive view? Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Hold on. Oh my god. You appreciate headlines in the newspaper? Get to the point already, Sholmes. Oh, you know how these things usually go with like detectives in these stories and all. Especially if we look at Sherlock Holmes and FGO, they get a ride out of just like taking a long time getting to the point, just to like go through all the information. Like, ah, yeah, that's it. I was like, did you really need to take that long? I don't mind Sholmes like taking this long to explain two simple things. So thus concludes Herlock Sholmes's great deduction of this Russian enigma, Elemensky. We fire Holmes and FGO and put Moriarty into his job. Moriarty does it better. Susato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know? But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come here for a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions, would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's a newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... these two men look nothing like each other. Ah, yes, I recall a discussion earlier. At the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Rowlett does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child in that case, even if you push really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? Oh my god! You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years with her will be poking out from the case. Oh, is that how this works? Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain, lithiness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such, a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deduction just now. Yeah, they're fucking wrong! I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Mr. Sada. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some key words in his deductions? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we can do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought I was going through my own mind. Ah yes, correct my mistakes for me. Oh, the main character know about circuses? I don't know, dude. They read about it in Mr. Sholmes' great detective novels. This man is a lot of work. At times I wonder how anyone puts up with me. That's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I fear they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. Oh my god. You feel like this is one of the games where you end up putting more thought into things than the writers did? Oh yeah, that's clearly evidenced by me brain farting in the trial, like in case 1 with me overthinking something when the game directly told me to present something. I'm sure certain people can confirm that. And don't worry, we'll be going through that more often across the rest of the game. Don't you worry. That's cool. Look, I blame the stream pressure, like making my mind blank out even for just a moment. Okay. Yeah, I blame you guys. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold them, Mr. Sholmes. So, the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Roylett, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I thought that's not all I have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me. Sit right with me, though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylett either, which means I suppose the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a key word here, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matters. Right. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylett. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use the shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylett really going to use those enormous shears for? Thick hat. Golden locks. What the? What is this? It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. No, the color isn't the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylett's head? And how's it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here.
Yes!
Ooh. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Oh, look at that smirk on his face. Oh, man. You consider this twist, but it seemed too stupid. So I kind of know about the deduction thing, like because of the E3 trailer thing earlier, or presentation earlier. So... Indeed, you have identified the precise details I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all. You're a woman. And judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I'd managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is, Why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals their true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man really was a young woman in disguise, did you? So wait. Are there any other mechanics I know of this, or is this the only one I know of? This is the only one I know of, because I've only seen the E3 presentation, and I've avoided anything else of Greatest Attorney. Wait, hold on. Excuse me? What? What are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise, Naruhodo-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room, deducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly this is not. Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Ruller is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Not enjoying? Wait, is Hisoderp not working? Oh, what the heck? Hold on, let me fix it. Wait, Hisoderp was just working, like, just when the stream started. What the heck? Bot is dead. Bot is dead. Bot is revived. Now we can gamble. Ah, yes, the fortune for tonight's 10 pulls. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try and hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best.
Yes!
Ooh. The evidence that reveals their true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. Bought that as invalid. Ah, it's close enough. That's right! You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ah! It's fake. Yeah. Cool earring. You're right. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity Am I gonna pull on stream? I'll do a little bit. I want to save for Bunny Artoria. I don't want to spend too much, so I'll hope I can luck sack just a little bit. So here's hoping for later. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. This woman is a ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. So clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. Oh, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. Oh, we get a free 3,000 crystals in Granblue for free? Yo.
You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes?
Stop it! Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Wow, look at this dazzling tiara.
I've never seen anything like it. Are those real diamonds, you think? Oh, Naruhodo-san, try it on.
What? Me? Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Well, wouldn't you like to try it on?
Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful.
Why does this tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere before recently.
Yes!
The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Huh. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this news article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it is an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, a lot of money. The crime you have committed is theft.
Oh no.
Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. I just had.
I have no one, no family, no friends. I'm all alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Prussia. It belongs to me.
This girl is only 15 years old, and she's run away all by herself. You must have been extremely lonely.
Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point hiding it now.
Come, let us not be hasty.
What?
There remains one unsolved mystery about you.
Mystery? What do you mean?
You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. If she needed money, how'd she get on the ship first class at that? I don't know. She'll probably explain it. So 20k rubles seem to be 10k dollars, which would be around 320,000 in 2021. Damn. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I laid eyes on them. Dear me.
We are not both suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oral betrays you. Or coup d'oral? I don't know. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. He's clearly changed tack with his deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true. But still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. Then there has to be another reason why she wouldn't open her case. It must be somewhere in the same area, and that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree. That's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. This is a charming little picture, isn't it? What is it? Someone climbing a steep mountainside? Or descending one, it seems to me. When you've been on the flat sea for a while, maybe you start seeing hills and mountains and everything. Oh wait, can I not, like... Okay, so I can't even, like, look down or anything like that? Oh wait, I'll have to use the arrow keys to kind of jump the... Oh, that's a little awkward. Ah, it looks like these are all the same books that we have in our cabin. I suppose the steward likes to make passengers have plenty to read for the long voyage. And have you noticed how all the books have fallen over, just like in Cosmo-san's cabin? It's almost like someone's taking a sweep at them. Maybe Miss Pavlova, while she was practicing her ballet? Anyway, the point is, we don't have time to look through all these books at the moment. We couldn't have even if we wanted to, they're all in Russian. Oh, that's a relief. Let's try to look elsewhere. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Beria. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. There was exactly the same notice in our cabin too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe, Naruhodo-san. You'd probably be left adrift in the freezing cold ocean, or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. So, I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? The door! It's a metal door, same as in Cosmo's cabin. Yes, and the rather slim bolt is the same as well. Well, if Miss Pavlova was actually glancing over the door here instead of the bookcase, that would suggest a desire to run away from this cabin. Maybe.
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Is either a dog or AK-47? Well, I'm sure an AK-47 wouldn't shake on its own inside of a small travel case. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time. AK-47 might not even exist at that time. Maybe. but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case... is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet! Rinosuke, you are really having fun with us. You are really having fun with us, my dude. You know, that big hat looks really comfy. Deduction complete. Elementary. So clearly, you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Grimsby Roylet. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. The Buri is a huge steamship with a vast crew. She really has snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. So you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard outside of the cabin? That veritable tinkling of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady, naturally. Says the guy who snuck on board. I wonder if anyone even makes hats like those anymore. I don't know, but it looks really comfy. I like to try one on. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, discuss myself? So no one would recognize me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man. I see. I put the fur hat on and fake beard. Then, just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So, I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and... At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Annoyingly. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You were right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, you can say to any of the crew. Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night. Yes, alright. I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't it something? Mr. Sholmes' great deduction.
It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what, but at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible.
Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing.
Oh, yes? What?
Observe your wrists.
Oh my fucking god.
Ah, your hands are cuffed again.
What? But how?
True to my word, I restored your shackles.
When? Why?
There's still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment.
Can't it? Really?
Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Cosmo-san wrote about in his diary really was.
This man better suit a magician rather than a detective. Grand. What happened last night?
Do you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine. Oh, that's why we were trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example. Perhaps people talking. Or perhaps the ship was absorbed in the wild tempest. Or perhaps its steam engine exploded.
By the way, her last name has stress on the first syllable? Oh, huh. So wait, how would her last name be actually pronounced?
Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed that if that had happened. Miss Pavlova, is there anything you can tell us? I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I'd done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me.
Oh, I see.
You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet? Yes. I'm traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about ballet. I will start a new life.
So wait. So the O in the low is closer to an A, actually. Pronunciation's correct, just the stress isn't. So, have... Wait, O... Huh.
You wish to forget? A challenging, proposition when you have the striking tiara as a reminder.
So in short, not stress enough? So then, like... I'm still not trying to pronounce it correctly, I'm sorry.
But the tiara is mine. I need it to live.
That was a joke. Oh.
I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I'd stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes. And the crew of the ship, they have all been kind to me.
Oh. So maybe that's how she got on board. Or maybe she talked to the other Russian crewmen on the ship, and they... Actually, no. No, she would have been scared about being found, so never mind then. Don't worry about it. If I want to use Google Translate, for example... I can't read the...
They let me come on board. And they said I could hide in this cabin.
Okay.
If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova.
Is it literally Pavlova? Should be copy-pastable. No, it's just like, because I'm not familiar with the Russian characters and stuff.
It creates a most intriguing conundrum. Yes, it does. What do you think about it? Or what do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum, I'm not sure, but...
Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle.
God damn it,
According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, the SS British stopped by no ports last night. Ah, that's it, of course. So how is it, pray, that you come to be aboard? Now that I think about it, the crewmen outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked them about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard.
That is not your business.
Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage.
Sorry? What was that?
It is how the Russian newspaper described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens because I am an angel.
What? If we're in a universe where spirit channeling, among other BS, is a real thing, sure, I'll believe you.
Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. Mr. Sholmes once said, I never can resist the touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, in fact.
Yes, Mr. Shower.
Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened.
Brain.
So the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh, please, don't tell. Don't tell any of the crew. If they found my precious... Then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison and throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. Thanks. Huh. So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes. But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy. It is, isn't it? I swear to God. Oh my God, no, I'm making a stupid guess right now, but I don't want to say it. Maybe an adorable little rabbit. I swear to God. Huh! You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then? You may well ask. I have no idea. You two are miserable bunglers. Bunglers. When it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerinas as friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken. I want to switch to FGO right now, please. Please, can it be 1 o'clock? Please. Let it be 1 o'clock. Let me switch games. Let me out of this madness. Let me out. Really? Consider the benefits. Extra rations? A rousing wake-up call. A dairy fresh eggs. And when adversity strikes, you can satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you eat your friends. I remember that. Well, it would appear this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed. She honestly doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I should like to show her, or something I'd like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. Emergency rations like Paimon. Show her? So, I mean, we already know that, like, this means wardrobe because from what, yeah. Or, I think. Oh, just in case. Yeah. You're frightening the poor girl. The good old tried and true method of show everything. This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary. Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died, something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. Miss Pavlova. Has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? No. I don't know anything. Oh. Oh shit. Excuse me, Mr. Roy. Uh-oh. Holy shit, that's fast! Yes, what? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once. Please. Alright, I will come now. What? You must leave. Now. Oh, no, it's fine. Don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Riley. Get out! The passenger said out! Or do you want me to throw you out? It looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later. Thickest coat. What a pity. Garden shears a dangerous item? Nah, it's just simple shears. And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. Oh. You know, I hope that we would have reached the end of this part when FGO came back up. Now would be a good time for it to turn to 1 a.m. Well, we got 36 minutes. And I don't know what to do. So let's just keep reading until then. And once it gets to 1 o'clock, we'll just hard stop it right there, regardless of where we are. Even if it's a cliffhanger or an exciting moment, and just go straight to FGO. I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that. I wish we managed to find some clue as to what that speckled band might be. We didn't manage to investigate at all. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door. He's clearly glaring at us, as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute. Excuse me. What is it? Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where'd he go? When's the Grand Blue event start? It starts in 2 hours and 30 minutes. So, 3 in the morning. For me. Fuck. Oh, hey, they added a Dama ingot to the treasure trade? Yo. Okay. 2 hours of FGO into 3 a.m. Grand. No, fuck that. I'm just kidding. Oh, yes. He's completely disappeared. When did you do that? I can do it. I mean, I could. Just, we wouldn't be able to have another stream the next night because I'd be dead tired. Or I'd have to sleep in the entire day and ruin my sleep schedule even further. Fun, you believe? I mean, I could. I shouldn't. And before Sholmes hid himself in the wardrobe, probably. He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists. I really wish we had a chance to look around in Miss Pavlova's cabin. What? Why you look like that? You want something? Huh? Maybe you want me to throw you out again, Oh, no, definitely not that. Next time I have to throw you out, I show you where lobsters spend winter. Understand? Understand? Maybe I should steer clear of him until he's forgotten my face. Sholmes learns from the best, IAS. I don't think he'll ever forget your face, Naruhodo-san. Oh, whoops. Oh, is that what happens when you try to, okay. When you try to, like, investigate something that doesn't have anything of interest? Huh. It looks like they're still investigating in here. Yes, on that subject. I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed. What do you mean, unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you. Oh, yes. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Also, wait, let me test out something. I wonder if this game actually has, like, lets me hot plug in a controller. Oh! Oh, sweet! Because I really want to stand up right now from how long I've been sitting. Ugh. Actually, hold on. Let me adjust my monitor, because I really just want to stand up right now. Ugh. Also, I'm gonna have to mute the mic real quick, because it's gonna be a little noisy. This is a little more comfy. Although, I do have to, like, look down a little bit, but not that much. I also hope, no one minds the slight change, I would assume, in the sound of my voice, because I'm standing up a little higher than the mic, but, well. He might have some new information for us. You never know. Oh, can you... Oh, the D-pad is for changing... Oh, shit! What happened? Ah, you're back. Inspector? What happened to you? Your face is... Oh, dude, my controller's vibrating. I thought I turned that off. Please, don't worry about it. They're just scratches. Okay, hold on. Made by a bear, maybe? When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fist and toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in the flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. It looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. Well, thanks to your efforts, we know a little about the neighboring cabin. Yes, so I understand. Oh. I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes. I don't think he was German though. Oh my god. Thought that was gonna be a running joke. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes then? We can tell you what we found out. I was wondering if I should have like a little... Actually, okay, hold on. I want to adjust my setup a little bit. I want to boost up my mic a little bit, like literally boost it up because it's kind of low compared to where I'm standing. 1 second. Still adjusting, 1 second. Okay, I think that's a little better. Well, not much, but something. Try to raise up my mic a little bit so it's at least, like, somewhat closer to my mouth. Not that much. Yes, let's do it. What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door. Oh, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? Oh, oops, I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case, at least. Oh, then, how? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oh, no, I definitely upset him. He told a crew member about her. Inspector, has your investigation here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed. Ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job. Oh, I see. Ah, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what? Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please. What's this new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Buria's medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh, Cosmo's post-mortem report? Cosmo-sama. So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what's written in the report. His neck was broken? Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. So at first I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? These hands! Nothing has been found as of yet, but the fact there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object, something that wouldn't leave a mark. So, fist? Just kidding. Oh, I see. This man wrote a death message with a broken neck. About that, Bryce. About that. So... we can't see it here, but the diary shows that, you know, he writes with his left hand. There's a little problem here. That, and how does a Japanese man know how to write in clear Russian with his right hand? Like, the game hasn't explicitly told us that he does know, like, fluent Russian. So, yeah. We still need to figure out how this came to be. One pointing to his stowaway friend, seeming to accuse them of the crime. Yeah, so while he's laying on the floor dying, he wrote with his right hand to check the wardrobe of the stowaway, his best friend, that was hiding there on his study tour to Great Britain. Yeah, that makes total sense. But how do you write with a broken neck? Bryce, I'm pretty sure we can put two and two together here. The killer, like, wrote with the ink that was spilt, like, dipped his finger onto the spilt ink and then wrote in clear Russian. Because the guy, I guess, assumed, like, the crew members would just say wardrobe, looks at wardrobe, checks it, sees Ryunosuke there for some reason. Bryce, please. So yeah, now we just gotta figure out how the criminal got in, and how he, or why he wanted to kill Asagi, or Kazuma. And also, more importantly, where is he? Or who is he? Really are a bad detective. Better than Sholmes. Oh, whoops, I don't think I read that one. Hold on. Let's see. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left. Poor Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never agree to leaving you in this cabin. I'd never agree to you leaving this cabin in the first place. Would I? Ah. Still have that, Susato? Man, these shrimp chips are addicting. Like, my family got these, like, this packet of, or not packet, like this, pack of shrimp chips that you fry in oil to basically expand it and everything. It is really tasty. Much better than other shrimp chip brands I've actually bought in the market and stuff. A tiny bit on the oily side. But I'll be damned if it doesn't taste good. Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, wasn't he? Yes, He seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept on the floor crept about on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now that you mention it, yes, just one thing. But he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish! Was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. Oh! The thing on the floor. There's one is over there, with a piece of broken glass. Do you see? Ah, perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark, do you think? Yes, that must be it. Mystery about the glass? Yeah, we're still working on that. But how can Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is this Susato-san? Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue. Dark tan? Sort of dark brownish red then. Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. Arthur repaired them for him. Oh, does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they scuffed on the floor? Will people keep shoe polish in a glass container? I don't know anything about shoe polish, man. You're talking to the wrong person here. Never really worn leather shoes before. Nor know about the maintenance with keeping them nice and all. I mean, I've seen like TV shows and movies and stuff of people like shining shoes and stuff, but I don't know. That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. Oh, Inspector, you look exhausted. Oh, no, well. I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asugi-san. It was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. A heavy head? Heavy head? That's interesting. Huh. So Ryunosuke and and Hosonaga had a heavy head? Well, Ryunosuke had like felt like his head throbbing a little bit. But my head's still throbbing too. It really is such a beautiful color, this glass. It looks like whatever it was is broken clean in two. But the other half is nowhere to be seen. And then there's the brick-colored mark, which is shoe polish, according to that great detective you seem to know all about. I suppose it must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes. Maybe, but what I'd like to know is, how did the detective be so sure it's shoe polish and not something else? Because he's a great detective, of course. Susato really is channeling her inner Maya, isn't she? That's hardly a reason, isn't it? Or is it? So it's clear that these letters were written with the ink that was somehow spilt on the floor. They spell the Russian word for wardrobe. it does seem to be an unambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, as you were sleeping in there. But to be truly unambiguous, you should have just spelt out my name, don't you think? Well, either way, one fact remains. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last words, or word, in Russian. Which begs the question of who did write it. So this ventilator joins to Miss Pavlova's cabin. Yes, that's right. And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. The speckled band, as he described it. If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on it, but she seemed as baffled as we are. Yes, I wonder if she's telling us everything though. I'm not sure. I know most people aboard would say the same about me, but there was something about that woman that didn't sit right with me. This is where Kazuma spent his final moments, writing his diary. 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Looking at his writing here on this page, it's almost impossible to believe that he's gone. Kazuma-sama left us a valuable clue in these words. I'm sure of it. We have to solve this mystery, Naruhodo-san. We will. All the books provided for passengers occupying this cabin, neatly arranged on the shelf. They were all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember. Oh yes, and you tidied them up, didn't you? You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins leads to damage. But it really wasn't me who knocked them over. Well, anyway, I feel much better now that they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are untidy. You! Where did you go? Oh, sorry, I just went to the next door cabin to investigate. Why? Who gave you permission for this? Well, Seaman Hosonaga did. That new Japanese, was it? Later, I will roll him into a ball and throw him into cold room. Whew, he's gone back to guarding the door. I hope Inspector Hosonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account. He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at the carnival. That could be a very long time from now, Naruhodo-san. Excuse me. See, these are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. So by bringing her pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rules. She called it her friend, didn't she? Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as yet. I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's inside the traveling case in her cabin. Huh, a friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think. Oh. SS Buria, first class cabin passageway. Ah! Look, Naruhodo-san. Seaman Shogunov is gone! Strong enough? The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us. All these Russian names are impossible to remember.
Okay, Ryunosuke. La, la, la. Did you hear that? It sounded like someone singing. Wait. Oh no, it's not who I thought it was. Oh my god. Oh my god, Sholmes. I did it the great detective way. This caroling, I know that lark-like voice. Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us. Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate. Definitely. Before that stringy knot, oh my god. Crewman comes back. It's Stroganoff, not stringy knot. God damn. Anything here by any chance? Aside from... Okay. Okay. Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes. Look! Wow, you never know where he's going to turn up next, do you? He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself. La la la, dee la dee la lay. I did it the great detective way. He's still singing. You think he hasn't noticed us? Or he's simply in extremely high spirits. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it can chew. And through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky her luck was about. Excuse me. I solved it, and I stood tall, and I did it the great detective way. Scotland Yard, yep. Mr. Sholmes! Ah! What is it? You ought to fight! Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and just when I was about to reach a climactic finish. Sorry, I never thought you were going to stop, so I figured now's as good as a time as any. I very nearly dropped to the floor with one of my I nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Alright, I get the picture. Now could you put those fists away? Guys look like he's trying to dance more than anything. Mr. Sholmes, you seem to be examining something before we interrupted you. Ah, yes, that. I was immersed in the study of the ship's log, as penned by the stockily built crewman who's usually on guard here. Ah, yes, the ship's log. And did you find anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report, nothing of note happened, so... You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it! Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. Oh, is he gonna do the trick where he's gonna where he's gonna write all over the page and show the letters pressed into the paper from the previous pages, get him do that trick? It would seem the same crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway, and he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes? Nothing to report? Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that.
And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. So do you mean... Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night, which led to the seaman being absent from his post. What kind of circumstances? What happened? That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, for a second I thought someone knocked on my door, but then I opened it and no one was there. Aww. Ah, sure it's nothing. My place is haunted. Because I swear, I thought I heard a distinct nod, and I didn't knock anything around that would have caused any knocking sound that I would have heard. I'm like, huh? Or maybe someone or something knocked on my window. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes brilliant? Oh, ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more. Dude, everyone has a headache. What's going on? Like, is it the whistling sound that caused this? Well, my friends, until our next encounter. Think you would think it's the whistle? Yeah, cause like that's the only thing that we currently know of that seems to have some kind of like or that would have some kind of link. Cause first there was Ryunosuke with his like headache problem, and you would have assumed that like he got knocked on the head, but then it's like, wait, he got knocked on the head and then put into the wardrobe, and you would assume that would be Kazuma that would have done it. But it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. The criminal? That doesn't make sense. Why would he even think to consider that? So something caused the headache, and now even did it say Pavlova also had like a weird headache as well? Or no, Hosonaga. And now Sholmes. So, can't keep writing this off. He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders down the passageway. Is something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought. It's just... well, I feel the same. Sorry? Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. Sort of continuous throbbing. Oh, you too? Huh. Pull. Oh man, it's 1 AM. But yeah, we'll have to continue this. We'll have to continue this tomorrow night. Because, yeah, this case is gonna take a while. This case is definitely gonna take a while to actually complete and everything. Also, give me a second to readjust my setup. Okay. And done for now.